So in the mesh file, we just remove issues and other just use that. So I can just double my It's just like an idea. So Figura actually there is some text to potentially. Well, we don't use these things on why. So I'm just going to use this picture as you can imagine. Why? Like inside the other part to download each script. It'll tell you. But basically, it's a graphic analysis. It's a player that just change your default grabs your player just into and so player profiles or you can keep that. Let's make this here. Okay, I've never dealt with colors, so if you just have like just I just noticed this. See, numbers and this actually best to just and then list all this is unfortunate. We could use this as a key. And just also that have clear a lot of keys while you can change things like the position, shadows. You don't get tools, it's just visible, it can be ground. And you can see that now I have place grab but let's go just like this one. This is all pretty nice. Still, what is the next one? I don't as one of the seven claws, we don't go well, look like these comes on. If you go to game, slash, we have that pause, and go to if you have that, you don't just go to world. The same I'm really interested in is there's a whole bunch of different now we can simple like if I can make it 60 because again it's just you see it's exactly so you can see the lots but you're not aware of Minecraft has the authority to use element worlds because that's all that dot allows you to be like now it's just down. All you have to do is put an yes, if you want this is basically every world we have to upload the colors and don't just apply them for example this similarly one part of that's the core using Windows and this is even though it's also one still does not and then sections anyone else can see if you're in your and also the big one that also applies to like so yeah this is an instance where we need to use output of that you can see now it's a bit like that and if I wanted to change the now I can still tell all of that the party know that works well. So it's really both. Now, Figura also supports shorthand everybody else. So finally, say I want to say like the cancel. And if it was episode now, yeah, it doesn't replace the 5 minutes player. So if I actually say that it goes to square 12, it is at the end of the day. And I want to bring to my so yeah, you can see this is a little alphabet. So yeah, first it will automatically the counters, something like that, and like do the bounce. But it's not just completely just one gone. Like I said, the item that I have is a little more something else that's create a position. Local barrel is make it the access the dollar sign. Of course, we just want to extend. Now I have a plus now was treated under for then we want to chemicals function also and the funny thing is that one does not work and the one sense I'm just good you simply I have a hunch to get that whole position is but it's not unfortunately it's not really like that and then we can experiment there we go so yeah now something that's useful you can comment out either something else that's related to items and this is another example see this anyway that's basically all you can see and also the blog comments you can see I did a shift calculation it doesn't apply like one thing and finally Figura has custom values as everyone okay so now we know if we can add these two together and absolutely modify that probably so do that so to do that we use the model you want to Figura in the beginning I'll have this modeling if we look here and then also download yes, absolutely. It's kind of flashy name, but it's whenever you hold and the model part API of I don't tell it here. Now I have a page that run this says no instead need to access tell these later and from this okay so to specify your information about that's what I know name ID so doing damage and then inside this so yeah you can double click whatever Figura can just one script in this case I'm just going to get the my files if text you can see a whole and then next we need to specify the model ID where it does have solid it's literally the same there you go that's then make sure you find it and then you can also now it'll only if it's color so actually give me the time then that'll body and red you could also do something else there so you can check colon and then something like that as as this showed it is specific and again whenever you're dealing with as you can see here just everything looks like create one line so even if you this is now instead of type 5 just like the info just vectors are say has a current type of course that's so by the way of course but actually one of the person as well explain the rest of the in the context of Figura here now there is this literally table that has the volume L yeah you can see it says first let's look at creating a vector I just have supersetting if you go into the cloud side that's pretty much instead you can write the that's the rest is just going to fit my easier the default volume is one and then I have several ones and this is just one of my here goes one lower picture completely bug yeah I just had a lot to describe this now everything I want to teach is that's how first where you go definitely I do want some useful vectors yellow and if you go into Figura and click on the file with all your type of vectors although it won't work for the big one here is the that's like the brings you to this side here which is basically whenever anyone's playing book all we want how do you back vectors to here just control that's alternatively the same you can also have the tab programming I'll make this first spam but basically and then you can just it's also type this out there's a bunch of different if I talk to chat anyway the other thing we have in the context so yes so prospectus API you have a bunch of content this will give you a lot of information and they'll also be useful to treat that well how to use complex things in even has missive text I've created a this that is and then there's like this code as well if scroll down to useful things. Basically, it's going to very clearly this will and the top one here is just useful stuff, especially basically it's similar to code, but then it also has a way of develop if it's like sound commands, if you set the volume, you can actually do that, and similar to vectors, and then also works there. 1, 2, 3, and that's flash out, but there's a lot for that. This wiki also is just code, and here, so just like push on this because one deeper, but also just after you have, and finally probably from the and all have double just these actually came documentation between all that annoying to use. Sometimes again, I can understand the hash figure held on a lot. There is a side and you can see I can scroll down here through maybe model API. This also applies to this more function right here. So again, that also plays with that table method. 1, 2, 3, 4 allows you to define each of the press the now, which says it's also is like just like particle teaching but that allows good ones to Alright, next we have custom sound. The final thing I want to talk about is this sounds complicated, really helpful. So I have like a simple, just to brush up on this rearranging. Sure, I could do something like this. That's something that but you can anyway, but that's pretty much just these layers to rearrange and that's also how to cut out files. So all you have to do is just remember to be respectful and I hope you enjoy it. If you want, thank you so much. They're volunteering their own online. I would definitely recommend for you ask questions, just like your Modulo things about having asked different values. So like say wanted to learn about RGB. There's a lot of different ways you can convert. Hey, you can see a discussion of parts where that even something just like it will just make it and of course you can search through the posts as well. Yeah, export as OGG. Time for the end just use Audacity if you want. But no matter what you use, this episode. I hope this all has meaning to that vector that inside your basically just a bit. Then play sound command. Anyway, it's the simplest thing so much for the name of the sound. If it's in the root directory. An array of numbers. I mean, you've definitely seen it before. It's just like a table of tables. Oh. Here, one of these things. And again, this isn't a math channel, issue with sound files that you how matrices work. They take a Khan Academy or something. This alone is now taking up half the matrices are used in some little 5-second long sound. Like, so for example, you can use a matrix to get the position of your model part in the world. If you're just using something like Audacity, or you can use a matrix to get your camera position. A big thing you can do is get rid of any dead similar in terms of structure. That will reduce your file size. You can also reduce the generic sample rate. Things here. And then you have your specific types of matrices. A matrix 2 is a 2x2 matrix. A matrix 3 is a 3x3 matrix. Now as an OGG. And a matrix 4 is a 4x4 matrix. But this matrices are nowhere near as simple as vectors. You can see it now takes even just creating a matrix is a little bit wacky. That's so if I go log matrices, it doesn't sound quite as good though. There's other things you can do to compress audio. It creates just an empty matrix. I'd recommend just not having too many custom sounds in your avatar or not having very long custom sounds. Also, if you have access to more advanced audio editing software, I recommend you clear any channels with not too much used audio, and maybe do some noise removal as well if you can. And of course, when it comes to indexing from a matrix, it's not as simple as just, of course, like 1, 2, or 3, X, Y, or Z. But it's not too bad. First, you need to choose your column or row. You can see it's determined with C or R. You can see on a matrix the bottom ones are the columns and the side ones are the rows. So like row 1 would be 610, row 2 would be 53, and then column 1 would be 650. Column 2 would be 10, 3, 2. It is also worth noting what to do if your sound is inside a folder. You can get a vector, that's 1, 1, 1, R2, 2, 2, 2, R3, 3, 3, 3. The directory is changed now, so the sound won't 1, 2, 3, C2, I need to make sure I go sounds. You can also just do 1, 2, or 3, and they'll just do the columns again. This just works like all other folders. Individual values from the matrix. That's pretty easy as well. If you have a look here, you see next to the codes and rollings, now there's some more advanced stuff, and it has sounds like V values. You can basically like a coordinates value on the matrix. So V11 might be the first value. You can stop a sound whenever you want. And of course, you can choose a position that isn't your player position if you want. But 3. Yeah. Anyway,
that will
pretty
be it for this
simple.
video.
Now,
and
I'm not actually
thank
going
you
to delve
so much
any
for
deeper
watching.
into matrices,
I hope you've
because
been able to learn
if
a
I just
lot
tried
about
to explain
particles
how
and
these functions
sound.
worked, like raw with just numbers, it just wouldn't make any
Sounds.
sense. You
I don't know.
kind of need an
I
example
will see you in the
for explaining
next
matrices
episode.
to actually
That one's gonna be on
like,
things and
explain
keyboards.
which is what I'm
It's
going to do
gonna
with
be a
my
big
next
one.
episode when I explain
ya.
particles and sounds. There's some matrix applications there which can be useful. That will be it for this episode though. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was probably an exhausting watch. Just basic scripting in maths is super annoying. But I do hope it's able to help, even if it's just a little. My next video should be coming soon, considering I already recorded it and then decided I need to make this video first. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in that video.